Bonnie and Clyde, outlaws in love, hunted by the law, gentle vintage guitar plays. Narrator. In the heart of the Great Depression, when money was scarce and dreams were often broken, two young souls found each other and then set the world on fire. Her name was Bonnie Petite, sharp-tongued poet from Texas with a love for adventure. His name was Clyde Barrow, a poor farm boy turned small-time thief, hardened by prison and determined never to go back. When they met in 1930, it was Tejas Lovett was a spark that ignited one of America's most infamous crime sprees. The birth of the Barrow gang, Clyde was already in and out of jail. When he was released, he and Bonnie hit the road together. Alongside Clyde's brother Buck and others, they formed the Barrow gang, robbing banks, stores, and gas stations across Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Louisiana, and beyond. But their crimes weren't just theft. They left behind wounded towns, dead policemen, and terrified citizens. By 1932, headlines across America screamed their names. They became folk anti-heroes, their photos taken from a camera left behind in a hideout showing Bonnie playfully posing with a cigar and gun. But behind the glamour, there was violence, desperation, and blood. The FBI joins the hunt. As their crimes crossed state lines, the federal government stepped in. In 1934, the Bureau of Investigation, the early FBI, joined forces with local lawmen from at least 8 cities. Together, they tracked the couple using early criminal profiling, phone call, tracing, and car registrations. That same year, Clyde led a violent prison break at Eastham Prison Farm in Texas, killing a guard. This act made the gang public enemy #1, and it caught the attention of a legendary lawman, Frank Hammer, a retired Texas Ranger. Closing in, Frank Hammer knew Clyde's habits. He mapped the gang's routes, their favorite backroads, and where they refueled. With each clue, the circle tightened. By May 1934, Hammer got a critical tip. Bonnie and Clyde were planning to meet Henry Methvin's family in Bienville Parish, Louisiana. It was the break they had been waiting for. The final ride on the morning of May 23, 1934. Bonnie and Clyde drove their stolen Ford V8 along Highway 154. Waiting behind the trees was a 6-man posse: Ted Hinton, Maney Galt, and local deputies. They had arranged for Henry Methvin's father to park his truck on the roadside pretending to need help. Clyde, always quick to stop for family, slowed the car, and in that moment the law struck. What happened next was not glamour. It was swift, brutal, final. In less than 20 seconds, it was over. Bonnie and Clyde were dead together, just as they had lived. A nation reacts. News of their deaths spread instantly. Crowds gathered. People took souvenirs from the bullet-riddled car. A traveling circus even tried to buy their Bonnie and Clyde had become more than criminals. They were a twisted kind of legend. But the families mourned. The victims were remembered, and the law moved on. Legacy of love and crime. Hollywood romanticized their tale in films like Bonnie and Clyde, with glamorous stars and tragic music. But the truth was darker. They weren't rebels fighting injustice, they were dangerous criminals, responsible for 13 murders, including 9 lawmen. They lived fast and left behind scars that never healed. Yet their story continues to echo, told in museums, books, and roadside memorials. Final reflection. Narrator. Bonnie Parker once wrote a poem called The Trail's End. It ends like this: someday they'll go down together, and they'll bury them side by side. Too few, it'll be grief. To the law, a relief. But it's death for Bonnie and Clyde. On a lonely road in Louisiana, that prophecy came true. They died together. They live forever in legend.